Jorge from Madrid. Hola chicos. Yes, this is a cemetery. Okay. And you are gonna make an overview. 360 degrees. Actually, this is one of the highest points in the city of Madrid. And you see that's the financial district that we see over there. That's the main entrance of the cemetery. And look around. That's my shadow over there. Okay, I just don't want to call this a celebration. I just want to call it an embracement. And why an embracement? By the way, you might hear some voices around. Of course, it's a public place, and today is a special day. I'm just going about to explain. But embracing anyone who has any beloved one buried in here, you know, obviously being a cemetery, this is the place to be. This one claims to be the largest in Europe. Believe it or not, since it was opened, it was a little bit of a discussion when it was opened, this cemetery. It was provisionally opened, and it was far away from the city. I just brought my portfolio with me, and within a few moments I'm going to show you, the original plan and why this had to be rushed out to be opened before it was finished. It sounds weird, isn't it? Well, the intention to bring the cemetery outside of the cities, it seems to be that originally they were all people buried near the churches and parishes, and that came up with a public health issue. So they decided to buy here, specifically here in Madrid, buy a land that belonged to a neighborhood or a town in those days that is in that direction over there. Now it's part of the city of Madrid. But they bought a land, and I don't know if you can see those trees with the brown leaves. That is the initial cemetery, which was called the Cemetery of the East. Okay, the Eastern Cemetery of Madrid. And now, because I just don't want to use any of these grays, nor to sit, not to show you anything at all, I just want to get myself this in here. I'm going to show you. There you are. This was the initial project, okay? And as you see, has the shape over here. This is where we are right now. This is the center. This was the project that won at the City Hall, the group of architects working for the municipality. But before that, before this was even started, okay, this area over here, I told you, that was the one that had to be open very quickly because of the two last decades of the 1800s. In Madrid, we suffered a pandemic. Sounds familiar? It was a cholera pandemic in those days. So people were dying, and the local authorities decided not to bury them just by the parishes or churches. They decided to make this cemetery, but because of the pandemic, they had to use that part over here. But the initial project is this one, the one who won, and it's very similar to what we have today. Not quite the same. Let me tell you nowadays how the cemetery looks like from a vintage photo. Here you are. This view, I'm trying to hold it with my shade over here. This view is an aerial view. Here you see an aerial view from the Cemetery of the East, 1929. And this is where we are right now, over here. And over this area was that provisional cemetery. With the years, it's been enlarged several times, and because we are in the highest part of all this area. What they have done in the several extensions that they did, they made like concentrical planes, you know, just taking advantage in the going down slope of this hill where we are. That's why the view that we saw earlier is so pretty from here. And look at the plan when the project was modified, and this is the cemetery. This is where we are. Okay, this that I have marked here with a pen is where the provisional cemetery was used in 1885. Just as a little curiosity, can you see this little red marking here? Okay, this is exactly where I live now, and all this is surrounded by blocks. And here you see, if you go in that direction, which is to the east from the cemetery, that is the city limits, 3 miles to the left of the map. And that's where I live, as I said, over here. And this little river right now is a highway. And look at the city planning. It was already made in the second half of the 1800s. For those who knows Madrid, these are the limits of the Retiro Gardens. Okay, so going down there is going down to the heart of the city. Well, there is many tombs in here, and many, as you see, many of them are decorated, very ornamented. Obviously, it's a Christian cemetery over here, as you see, a lot of crosses around. There is also another part of the cemetery, but you have to cross a road for that and get outside of the limits of this cemetery. And to get over there is a little bit far from our way. So, but that part of the cemetery is called the civil cemetery. The civil, and there is also a Jewish section, you know. Anyway, as I was saying, it was finally inaugurated in 1886. This cemetery here, and it was sorry, I was just pointing to the car without meaning to. What I was meaning is to show you, for instance, this pantheon that we find in here. I'll let you know in a moment to who belongs this pantheon. I could go to the entrance that we see over there. Okay, can you see the entrance? But I tried earlier, and there's a car. Okay. Very noisy car. Well, I tried earlier, just see if we could look inside, but the glasses are so dirty that no, it's impossible. Let me try and do a zoom in here. You can see some of the symbols they do have. It might remind you some kind of Egyptian thing, but it's not. It's just 2 eagles at the side. And then here you see a Madonna. You see that? And here you see another Madonna over here. The symbolism of this, they say it is masonry, and mainly because of that crown that you see at the entrance. But look at how beautiful it is anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom out right now. There we go. The same as many other pantheons around here. There's so many pantheons in here. I could stay for a whole day with you, just showing you absolutely everything. I'm going to repeat what I said. I'm really surprised at how quiet this is today. Because of the COVID, the forum here today was limited to 22,000 people. And I do believe that many people have come before, just to avoid crowds. Anyway, as I was saying, let's get back and have a look at the same pantheon from the back part. There you go. It looks like a mini little temple. But if I do a zoom in, which I'm going to try, there you see Pantheon of the Viscounts of Llantero. I've done a little research about this family, and well, apparently these people are from the Basque Country, and they established here in Madrid, And in 1920s, one of the ladies of the family, she was the very first woman who occupied a seat in the city hall of Madrid. Very innovative at the time. And they are working on the walls, and as you see what I told you, we are coming from those steps over there, which is the highest point of this hill where we are, and taking advantage of these little plains around, they made the concentric circles around it. And now, just continuing with this little walking here, I was going to give you another overview of another lane. There you are. There's some lady here just getting some water to probably, clean the tomb. There are big mausoleums in here, and before getting into the some pantheons, I just want to show you. I want to show you first, before it gets any darker, some tombs that they are far away from our path. This is the actual plan of the cemetery. Okay, I told you that already. Look at this Madonna over here. This is Our Lady of Almudena, and that is the name of this cemetery. It's the cemetery of Our Lady of Almudena. She is the patron saint of Madrid, and she was found on the medieval walls in the 1100s. Anyway, as I said, the cemetery is named after her because of the patroness saints of Madrid city, but there will be another lecture, tour, call it however you call, some other day. This is just for you to let you know. Right, this is a memorial for 13 young ladies that they fought in the Civil War in Spain. One thing I have to clarify about Spain politics is that when we say Republicans here, we mean the left wing. Okay, keep that in mind for future references. So these three young ladies, they were fighting in the Republican side, on the left wing of the government, that it was democratically elected before the Civil War started in Spain, and it was a tribute, a memorial that the previous mayoress of Madrid made in one of the entrances of the cemetery. The shame is that a year ago, the extremely conservative government that is now in the municipality of Madrid, they knocked them down. So, but guess what? They knocked that memorial to those 13 young ladies that were shot in that wall. More than 3,000 people is believed that they have been shot in the same spot in 1939 when Franco won the war. But the extremely conservative government now in the city of Madrid, they knocked that down, but they're still holding some fascist pantheons that they are memorials people who fought in World War II from Spain, and they're still kept in here, and those are in pristine conditions and untouched. I think it's not fair. But anyway, that is my opinion. Please allow me to say, okay? And let's continue with this. Okay, this is the pantheon, the memorial. Now, this is a mausoleum, and this was done, as you can see in here, in honor of the heroes of Cuba and Filipinas, the Philippine Islands. A little class of history. In 1898, Spain lost his three most precious possessions overseas, and it was the three in the same year. It was Puerto Rico, the Philippine Islands, and Cuba, and these are homage to them, especially to the Philippines, who they resisted 337 days in the fort in the islands of Filipinas before they were killed. Well, just to show you a little curiosity, there are anonymous tombs in here from regular people, common people, not personalities. But here, this one, this is very cute, and the story behind this is absolutely amazing. This man, when he died, apparently, it says the legend, and it's being, spread by the word of mouth among people working here. in the cemetery. That's 2 days after he passed away and was buried. His two Pekingese dogs, they just appeared by the tomb, and they came in here every single day. Her sister, when she knew that the two little dogs were coming here every day, she ordered the construction of this tomb with the statue of his brother and the two dogs by his side. I think it's a very, very cute and beautiful history. Also, to show you some other mausoleums, this is really far away from our path. That's why I'm taking the liberty to show it to you like this. We will see some more live in a few minutes, okay? This is Jose Maria Gonzalez. He died at the age of 26. He was 26 years old when he died, but he inherited the World Circus, very famous in Spain, circus in the 50s, 60s, and 70s by his father. And when his father passed, he took the management of the circus, and he died at the age of 26, as I said, and on a car crash. And all the staff that was working for him just made and collected the money to make this beautiful mausoleum. A curiosity about that is that it has its own lighting thing with this solar panel that you have here. So at night, you know, the lights goes on without sucking it from the grid. This is just an overview of what we have seen, just to show you normal tombs over there. But you see that? Okay, this is the last one that we're gonna see right now on a photo, because we're going to go live. Well, we were live, but what I meant is that we're gonna see them over here. Okay, look over my face again. Here I am. Well, Familia Zorrilla Alaver, over here. There you go. This pantheon is kind of semi-abandoned, if not totally abandoned. When I have come here before to do some of my research, I've seen that there is a chain here with a lock, and the glass are broken. And also, if you see over here, some of the things, they are just on the ground. They have profanated many tombs apparently here along the years. Oh well, here we go. This line of pantheons that we are, they have different styles. There were no styles at all or directions to build any pantheons. But this one, they have to be a very wealthy family, and there is a lot of space inside. Most of them, I know, they have a small altar piece inside. As you see, these windows, these glasses that they have, you cannot see through them like many of these, but there are some that we will be able to see. And some of them, look at this beautiful one here. It is like a little mini church, if you have a look at it. So this is the Marquis of Villamayor de Santiago and family, and there you see the coat of arms of the family over here. So this is another one as well, with some fence over here. Obviously the family don't want anyone to go through, but again, we cannot see through the windows. Always the Christian cross, Latin cross, I'm sorry, on top of that. Some of them really austere, like this one here, and through this one we will be able to see. This belongs to the Familia Lozano Herrero. So here we see. I'm gonna try to get as close as I can so you can have a little overview inside. There is a little altarpiece with a little reclinatory, and the tombs are on the left hand side. There you see one, there another one below. Well, I don't want to be nosy. And here we can. This is, when I was doing my research, this is the one that called more my attention. Have a look at that. I'm gonna try and make a zoom in a couple of minutes, but just from the outside, we can see inside there is a small altar piece, also a little reclinatory in there, and let me just do a zoom in. Here we go. Now, doesn't it look like a little temple because he has these kind of Egyptian figures that you see, and here as well. And look at the top. Although it's the Latin cross in there, but it has like two heads. Can you see them? I found that fascinating when I came to see, like saying, where or who had the idea? Well, I have the answer, believe it or not. Let me zoom out if I can. All right, wait. Well, it's not easy to do the zoom out here. Oh, I did it, good. Apparently this pantheon was built in the early 1920s. It was a boom in those days about all the discoveries in Egypt. And this family, apparently, they went to Egypt several times and they were fascinated by the all Egyptian items, all the allegories and absolutely everything. So they ordered the construction of this pantheon in that way. Look at this other one over here. Familia Reizaba. Very austere. And here we can see inside. I'm gonna make something that probably is not very correct, but I brought with me a torch, so you can see me here, right? I brought with me a torch to try and light the inside. So let's see how it works. And you will see how beautiful this thing is. You see there is some fresh flowers over there, and there is an altarpiece, and we can see the shape of a Madonna as well. Can you see that? Well, let's continue. And several, as I told you, I could stay here with you all day showing you all these pantheons that they are around here in this area. But look at this one. This one, I'm gonna shoot it from the bottom to the top. This is absolutely impressive, just itself, with the big columns to the side. Can you see them over here? These ones. This really looks like a big temple on its own. Well, let's continue our path. We have to now walk on our own steps to get back on the track I want to take you today. By the way, in case that you were wondering, yes, there is a lot of trees in here. The extension of this cemetery is 300 acres. Claims to be the largest in Europe, as I told you. And one of the things that we do have in cemeteries are these kind of trees, cypresses trees. And in cypresses trees, as I've mentioned in some other podcasts before, cypresses represents eternity simply because they are going up to heaven. Okay? Right. So, as I was saying, the extension 300 acres, and that is quite a big thing. In Madrid there is another cemetery which is in the western part of the city, not as big as this, but along the years since this was officially inaugurated, believe it or not, 5 million people, it is believed that they're buried in here. 5 million, more than the population of the city of Madrid. Much more. Well, let's take a shortcut over here. And from here, you can see the little chapel. Well, little. Little in the sense of space inside. We won't be able to go inside later because I know they are holding a mass today at 5:30. But I will tell you some curiosities about it when we are by the church. This is a very unusual Jesus Christ in here. It's the first time I've seen Jesus Christ crucified, totally dressed. You see that? And, well, you can see people over there at the end. Now, where are we? Besides the cemetery, we are in Spain. What's Spain well known for in the world besides flamenco, good food, good life? Bullfighting. I know that not everybody's going to agree with me in this, but this man, he was, for those who likes the bullfighting, you know, El Gillo, Jose Cubero, El Gillo, that's his name. There we see some fresh flowers, and somebody just left a carnation over there. He died in the early 80s, in not so far away from Madrid. Well, he was gored by a bull, so he was very much loved here in this country. He was considered a master, and just regular graves around here. Some others, you see this one over here, they have Madonnas as well, like this the one over here. And it's getting a bit noisier in here. I think that I'm not the only one that had the idea to come at this time of the day. Okay, so if anything could be called favorite inside of a cemetery, that's where we're going to go now. My favorite place, and someone that I just simply love. But before that, let me show you an overview of the chapel. Here you are. There you go. All over. Up there. And the dome that you see over here, the base of the dome is has the same altitude as the point we started. This is a modernist style. For those of you who knows a little bit of Gaudí, you know, the artist from Barcelona, some people have called this is very Gaudian, the style of this chapel in here. Also has the shape, doesn't have the shape of a regular church, like a Latin cross. It has the shape of a Greek cross, the same shape as the original plan of the cemetery, as I showed you. And let's move on a little bit. Good. There is nobody here today. Well, this is for any Spaniard. If you have to ask them, say the best flamenco dancer ever, she is the one. Her name was Lola Flores. Please Google that. There is a very funny anecdote about her when she performed at the Madison Square Garden in New York. The critics, the day after, one of them said, she cannot dance, she cannot sing, but you cannot miss her. So you have to have a lot of art, you know, just to. She's very much loved by Spanish people. She passed in 1995 after several years fighting against cancer. And the saddening part about it, her son, Antonio González Flores. Okay, so his son, the sad part about that is that he always has some kind of trouble with drugs, right? And she was always suffering for him. He was like the apple of her eyes. That was his son, Antonio. And 15 days after she passed away, he was found dead. The day after, he made a concert dedicated to his mother. He died of an overdose. Okay, so Now, here inside of this little pantheon of the Flores family, we can see Lola Flores' tomb over there, and she passed in 1995, as you see. She passed on May 16, and that's his son, May 30th, same year, Antonio Gonzalez Flores. Well, that is the pantheon. You see the name of the family, Gonzalez Flores, over there. I'm not the only fan that has come over here, you see. And just behind that corner is where the statues are. Well, life goes on, and so must we. As I told you earlier, taking advantage of the cemetery, taking the 5 planes, concentrical 5 planes that it has to be used somehow. The change of level in between one part like this, where we're coming from, okay, and this part that we are going. So you see the wall here, it's just at the height of my head, but as we go down we can still see niches. So that is, taking advantages of space as well. That's why there are so many people buried in here. I'll give you an overview here, panoramic. There you go. Yes, some people bringing flowers over here, and more tombs. I've come a couple of times to do a little researching here and just to decide what route was going to be the best for all of us. And I have to tell you that the very first day I came over, tombs, let's be honest, we love our beloved ones that are buried in here, but we don't come every day. So many of the tombs, they were just dirty, and now they're very, very clean. And the way it works in here, you can buy the plot where you want your tomb, okay? It costs a lot of money. I cannot tell you how much, but I believe that the closer you get to the chapel, the more expensive it is, and the bigger the plot is, the more expensive it is. Here, for instance, we know that there are 3 corpses in there, okay? And it goes on, either you buy it if you want to, or you buy a lease for 99 years. I don't know why 99 years and not 100, but anyway. And the one on the walls, which is this one that we see over here now, you have the right to have your beloved one buried in one of these for 5 years. And then after 5 years, either they are removed and the remains of your beloved ones are placed in a communal grave, or you can pay a lease for 50 years in those. Actually, I did that for my mom last year in Malaga. Okay, well, this is the chapel. From the bottom to the top. Here we go. Look at that. So remember, the base of the cupola here is the same height from where we started in this tour. And as I said, don't you see any kind of modernism or Art Deco style here? Like I said, for those who are joining now, very Gaudi, or not Gaudi, your expression, but Gaudí, the Catalan artist. And there we are. That's our friend, a friend called Fausto. Fausto is the angel of death, and he has a trumpet. Let me see if I can zoom in. If not, I have a photo to show you. Wait a minute. There we go. Originally, this statue in bronze was placed over there with the trumpet that he's holding over his lap right now. He had it in his mouth. just like if he was just, making the trumpet sounds. The trumpets, when you hear the trumpets of the apocalypse, is when you're going to die. That's what they say. So we are, as I said the other day in several places, we are Latins, we are Mediterraneans, we are very emotional, very visceral, and also very, very superstitious. So originally the trumpet was in Faustus' mouth, and people just got scared to come over here to the cemetery. I'm going to try and do a zoom out if I can somehow. Yes, please excuse me about this little thing, but it's resisting. Anyway, here you are. There you go. But there is a funny part about that. If anything is funny, with all my due respects, for anyone who's watching this. At the very beginning, when that statue was placed over there was somebody that came around and he played his trumpet with the excuse that he was rehearsing. So what happened was that obviously he was banned to come over here, and the authorities decided to put the trumpet on the laps instead of on the mouth. Well, there you have again. That is the overview of the chapel in here. And the way the chapel looks inside, I'm going to show it to you in a moment. Look, I have in my portfolio here, I have the same as you're looking from here, because I took the photo from the same angle. Let's get a close-up of the inside. We cannot get inside, as I said, because at 5:30 they're holding our mass inside, but it is very, very austere. So this is how it looks inside. Down here is the main altar, right? It's very, very austere, almost no symbology inside. And our friend Fausto. Well, let's continue. We're gonna pass now by the main door, and there's practically no differences in between the main door and the sides. Remember, I told you that the inside has the plan of a Greek church. So let me give you an overview. Again, more cypress trees, as you see over there, right? Here is the chapel. Our friend Fausto over there. The Latin cross mixed with the Greek cross over there at the very top of the dome. And an overview here with all the niches, taking advantage of the change of the level because we're going down the hill. So here we go again, and now we're going to get to the main entrance. Well, the main door, laces over there as you see them, just these laces here, symbol of eternity as well. That statue that we see over here is the Sacred Heart of Jesus. There's another one at the other side, we'll see it in a minute. And in this arcade that we are now going to pass through, we're going to see that there are columns. There are 8 arcades in each side. You're going to see it in a minute. We just need to get out of here. Okay, officially we're out of the cemetery. But this is the arcade I was mentioning to you. There's one going over there and one right behind us. Let's get out to the center of this plaza to show you a couple of more things over here. This is the main entrance of the cemetery. Again, another Sacred Heart of Jesus over here. I'm in the middle of the square risking my life with traffic, so just let me Move back a little bit. Perfect. Now it's much better. So as I said, another Jesus, Sacred Heart of Jesus. Those two modernist towers, and as you see, there are 8 arches over here, and then it makes a 90-degree angle over there, a little bit curved, as you see, but it's a 90-degree angle. And this business, and let me pan to the other side, over here, you go, another panel. This is a police truck over here, and that other building there. But there is nothing special in that building, just, you know, the architecture, which is part of the entire construction over in this entrance. But we have something in this one. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. There you are. A subliminal message, Horus. You know, pagan symbol. The eye that watches everything. I'm just going to show you a couple of more things. Just a couple. And as you see here, in this shop, this is, you know, when people come in, these stalls, they are very handy. But let me show you something. I want to ask the lady first. Señora, señora, ¿me permite un momentito? Muchas gracias. Gracias, Buenas tardes. Okay, so here we are. These are the flowers that we associate when we want to greet or we want to send flowers to someone who died. Although they have these other kind of flowers in here, and by all means they have these carnations. Carnations is the national flower of Spain, red carnations. And they also have this bouquet of flowers. These are white carnations over. And I hope you enjoy this. For whoever you are, either good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Chicos, thank you. Adiós. Hasta pronto. Bye bye. Thank you.